Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be giving you guys 5 free agents that I think the Washington football team should consider signing to improve their team. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video, and before we start, make sure you guys like the video. It helps out a ton. So even though the Washington football team has one of the best rosters they've had in years, they still have a couple holes and could address those holes in free agency because there still are some great players available. So let's get started with our first player that I think the Washington football team should consider signing, and that is Juan Alexander, a linebacker who played with the Saints last year and with the 49ers the year before. Linebacker, in my opinion, still is, a need. I know we added Jamin Davis. I definitely like him, and I think he's going to be a really good player for us, but we still need a couple players. Our depth isn't great. I mean, our starters right now, it's probably going to be Holcomb, Davis, and Bostic, maybe eventually Khaleke Hudson, but we could use another starter, at the very least some more depth. And Alexander, he is coming off the injury, so I'm not sure if he's going to be ready for the start of the season, but still, he's a really good player, a good tackler, pretty good in coverage, hasn't been able to stay healthy, which really is his issue. Last year in 12 games, 55 tackles, 1 sack. The year before had an interception, has 7 interceptions in his career. Really just hasn't been able to stay healthy, so he would be an option, a cheaper option in my opinion, rather than someone like KJ Wright, who obviously would come in here and be an immediate starter, but his price would be pretty expensive in my opinion, at least compared to some of these other options that we have right now. So the next player on this list is Steven Nelson, cornerback who played with the Steelers last year and really played amazing in that game against the Washington football team where we beat them. And I know cornerback isn't a huge need, but they still could add some depth right there. Nelson played pretty well for the Steelers last year, 43 tackles, 9 passes defended, 2 interceptions. Has 7 interceptions in his career. The last few years has been able to stay relatively healthy. 16 games in 2018, 15 in 2019, and 15 this past season. Is a veteran, which is nice, and I think it would be, a good signing. A lot of 58% completion percentage when, thrown at him, and he's a pretty good tackler. A 7% missed tackling percentage this past season, which is pretty good. And I know, again, cornerback isn't a huge position of need, but if he's willing to sign for pretty cheap, I think it would be a solid option to pair with, Kendall Fuller, William Jackson, and Benjamin St-Juste. But if they think Benjamin St-Juste is ready right away to start, then I don't think it's necessary to sign Steven Nelson. But it is always great to add depth, and this would definitely do that. So the next player, we definitely need some edge rusher help, and Melvin Ingram is still available, and he's trying to get a lot. I think the reason why he hasn't signed with the team is because he wants a little bit more money than teams are willing to give to him. But if that continues, the trend where teams aren't willing to give him a bunch of money, maybe he'll come to Washington to finish out his career, because he's played for a while, since 2012, and didn't have a great year this past season. No sacks, did have an interception, but 0 sacks in 7 games, wasn't able to stay healthy. But before then, you look at 2015, 11 sacks, 8 sacks, 11 sacks, 7, and then 7. So we need another edge rusher, and I know we have some guys that we recently drafted. 3 7th round picks in the last 2 seasons, but if Chase Young or Montez Sweat go down, I do not want us to rely on Casey Toohill or James Smith-Williams or Shaka Toney or William Bradley King to start 5-6+ games for us, because that is just not going to go well. Maybe they somehow kick Jonathan Allen to the outside, but I just do not think that that would work. We have to, I'm just saying, I think we need to add some more depth, add a veteran guy to back up Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Maybe Melvin Ingram doesn't want to be a backup, and that's totally fine. There's some other options which I'll get into later, but I think Melvin Ingram, for the right price, he would be a great veteran leader to add to the team, can get to the quarterback, and even has had 3 interceptions in the last 3 years as well. So I think this would be a good signing. Maybe I think if they do make a signing at the edge rusher position, it'll be a few weeks before the season starts, right after the first couple weeks of training camp. So the next guy is DeMar Dotson, a tackle. And again, tackle isn't a huge position of need, but I do think we do need to add some depth there. I don't think it's necessary. It's a huge priority, but our starters are probably going to be Leno, and then on the right side, Cosme with Cornelius Lucas as the backup, which I think would be a great backup, and David Sharp, who, did okay for us starting, but I still would like someone else, and DeMar Dotson would be solid, has been, played a bunch of games these last few years, especially 2018 and 2019. Started a couple of games last season, so I think this would be a solid sign just to add some more depth at that tackle spot. We got a bunch of depth at the guard spot, but I don't think we have as much at the tackle spot. So if they can, adding someone like DeMar Dotson, at least for training camp, to add some competition for those backup spots, get some competition with David Sharp, add another body there, I think that would be a good signing. There's some better guys out there, Rick Wagner, who played for the Packers. That would be another option for the Washington football team. DeMar Dotson, started 6+ games this past season. So, yeah, the last guy on this list, and I think this is a more realistic edge rusher that the Washington football team could sign, and that would be Adrian Claiborne, who played for the Browns this past season, but he had 3.5 sacks in 2020, 4 sacks in 2019, 3 the year before that, 10 the year before that. So, not crazy numbers the last few years, but good enough. 4 and 4, and that's without having a huge, role. I don't expect him to have a huge role in Washington, but again, if someone gets hurt and we need him to play, I'm fine with him playing, because he has experience and is able to get to the quarterback at least a little bit. So I think that would be a good signing for the Washington football team. Is a veteran, has been playing in the league since 2011, so got that experience, able to lead, help develop possibly even those 7th round picks behind him. And I think they do definitely need to, bring at least one veteran edge rusher to compete with these 7th round picks, because Chase Young, Montez Sweat go down. I need someone besides these 7th round picks to start, unless these guys look, blow us out of the water. If one of these guys looks really good, then I'm fine with them just rolling with those guys. But if not, I do think they need to sign another edge rusher. So let me know down below in the comments, what are some free agents you think the Washington football team should sign? Some other positions they could have, I could have went after as well. Some more depth at the tight end position, maybe even some more depth at the running back position as well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. Peace, guys.